Let's do this.
Fill the room with the juice. That's a lot of loot. That bit fire. Yeah, she kinda.
Welcome back to my channel. Let's hop right in. No intro. If you are lost, go watch part 1 and you will be all caught up. Okay, I will be putting on a magnetic face mask. You guys have seen this in the past. I haven't used it in forever, so at the end we're gonna see if we can pluck some pores. I don't really know, honestly. I just know that it's like one of those cool trendy masks. So anyways, we'll throw that on and let's continue this. 11 minutes in, let's go.
Way more than I could have made in that video. Also,
okay. I mean, I doubt that I didn't acknowledge that. So
I can't.
Fund me, and it pops up on your screen.
It's like just listening to his voice is annoying. Sorry.
I'm the top donation on her GoFundMe, which
Wow.
I donated. I donated money to her before I even made the video, and you close it really quickly as soon as you see my name. So that was
I mean, I just doubt that's correct. It sounds like you're desperately trying to reframe this. This is what you tend to do, is you disingenuously reframe things. If I remember correctly to this situation,
This is going to be impossible to talk.
Okay, continue, Dennis, and then I'll respond. Go ahead.
Okay. So you did that. That was my first impression of
I didn't do that, but okay.
That was my first impression of you. You did that. You can go back. People can go back right now to the video and watch it.
Sure, go ahead.
It's on video.
Watch it. You should watch that video. But that's not a true framing of what happened.
So it comes up. I'm the top donation.
Great.
You close it real quick, and you never acknowledged it, that I actually donated, and you continue your point that I'm virtue signaling, that I actually don't care about the situation, that, here I am. I actually talked to the person.
Here's my problem about people who think they can fix everything with money. There are certain things in this world where it's not about that. It's about the principle, right? And I am very much one of those people. It's not that I don't like you, I hate you, I think you're a terrible person. It's about the principle. It's about the fact that you do not see the deeper meaning, which lets me know that you're unfortunately not at a framework of expansion, right? Your mind doesn't go to other elements. You stick to what involves you and what you've put into the world to show. And I know that at hand. Immediately, I know that at hand. I know exactly what it's like to hide behind designer bags, hide behind nice cars, fundraising, going to parties and giving people $500 and being like the head honcho. All of that does not equate to being a good person. I don't care who you are. Period.
Person who was the center of the story. I got her side.
Well, she's not.
You, on the other hand, never got her side. You took Keemstar. In fact, the title of your video is Keemstar Was Right.
Yes, because he was right.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Keemstar's side, and that's why I framed it like that. That's why I said, you took Keemstar's, because your title is literally Keemstar Was Right. So you told me that you were charitable to me in my coverage. So I want to know from you, why did you not mention that I raised $1,500 for cancer charities, and that I also donated $500, and it popped up on your screen and you closed it? And why did you not acknowledge that in your video and keep painting me as a person who was just trying to virtue signal?
Okay, so first and foremost, I haven't watched it in a while. I guarantee you that's not the framing of the situation. This whole idea that I would try to hide that you donated, absolutely not. I don't remember the specifics. I know that you had a donation tab at the right, but a lot of content creators play this game where they say, I'm going to demonetize my video and do a charity. It's not a bad thing. And then I talked about how it would be more effective, generally speaking, to leave your monetization on and then donate that money. I don't absolutely at all remember shitting on you for that. I focus very heavily on the store. I focused very heavily on the story. I guarantee you I talked about the fundraiser. So I don't really know like what you're reframing something. It just didn't happen the way that you're saying it. And now you're trying to assert that as a way to shoot my credibility down because you don't want to talk about what's going on currently.
People can go back and be the judge of that.
Please do.
I'm taking this step by step. You want to talk about how we got to this point?
Sure.
You have to.
Right, but it'd be nice if you were honest about your framing of the situation.
You can't just paint. The video's there. People can watch.
Yes, you should watch the video because I know that I didn't do what you're saying that I did.
And you could tell Jeff didn't watch it. And if he did watch it, he watched it from the frame point of wanting to hear what he wanted to hear. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain people that just cannot detach their ego from a certain situation, especially if it comes for, you know, their character or who they see themselves, you know, as how other people see them, right? And I get it. A lot of people feel they need validation, but it's very easy to see through it. And I don't think people who realize that know that, especially when it comes to YouTube. And that's why I'm very much like, I'm gonna sit down, I'm not gonna have makeup on, I'm not doing my hair, I'm not gonna have you know, a full face of makeup on, because at the end of the day, like, that is the framework of everybody on social media. They want to just pop up looking the best that they can be, like, I am this, I've manifested this house, I have this much money, I've been verified, I have this many followers, when in reality, what else, right? Because you're not taking that blue check with you to your grave, baby. Unless you really are going to be one of those people that puts a blue check on your tombstone. And if so, then that lets us know a little bit about who you are, right?
So what you're telling me is that then you didn't do the research necessary to even see that I was a top donation, which shows up on
screen. If it shows up on the screen, I showed it in my video, then how are you trying to say that I hit it? I just, like, this doesn't make any sense.
You didn't lift him up in that way, and that's what he wants. And it's crazy because the thing is it doesn't matter. Not everyone is going to highlight those things. Everybody can do that. Even Rich Lux, right? Rich Lux does a lot for his community. Like, he'll have like giveaways, he'll go and do meetups and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, like, you don't have to necessarily hone in on that, right? Because he's just going to do it. He doesn't need to get on the camera and be like, oh, this is what I did, because then people will see through it. So I don't understand how you don't see that framework. How do you not see that, Jeff?
You framed me as a person, dishonest person who was just seeking to.
I framed you as a person. I framed you as somebody who was so obsessed with Keemstar and being disagreeable with him that you completely ignored the context of the situation of his mother continuously trying to reach out after.
Because he's creating content from his ego. Period. That's what he's doing.
Sniper Wolf agreed that they would have like a little one-on-one FaceTime type of a thing for multiple days, making up multiple excuses, even though she was out to eat and all this other nonsense. And then once she was blocked by the mother, then all of a sudden Keemstar talked about it, and that's when Sniper Wolf did the right thing.
You didn't talk to her.
I don't need to talk. I don't need to because the mother released all of her information. We saw all the DMs. I don't need to talk to the person who's doing the bad thing that's going to be reframing it in a way that makes it seem like she did the right thing. That's called a biased source. You talk to a biased source. I looked at it, the objective facts of the DMs, the times between the DMs, all the excuses Sniper Wolf made. That's what I look at. I don't need to go to the source. That's insane that I would have to go to the liar, Sniper Wolf, in this situation to get the real information.
So you're telling me that when you cover a story, you don't try to get all sides of it.
Dennis, I'm telling you that all the information we needed was available, and Sniper Wolf doesn't need to be asked about the situation to know the objective truth of her dodging the situation based on the leaked DMs. If the DMs are fake, then you got me. But if they're not fake, which nobody has said, I have the information I need.
Do you consider yourself an unbiased person?
I am as unbiased as a person I think can be.
Okay. And now, however, you just said that you didn't want to get somebody's side in a story.
You're harping on this point. The objective truth was out there with the DMs. We don't need to get her side of the story other than a reframing from her perspective.
But the reason that Def wanted to get her side of the story is because he needed that credibility. He needed that, oh yeah, I'm actually somebody who can talk to Sniper Wolf, right? Think about it. If I were to make a video about it, or somebody else that's not that big, right? They may not even be able to have the freedom to even ask Sniper Wolf and Sniper Wolf actually have a conversation with them, right? So for me, it's always like, at the end of the day, when you bring up certain things, you're doing it from a place of ego, and it's very easy to see. I don't know about y'all, but for me, it's extremely easy to see. It's just, I look right through people.
To make her look as good as possible. We should move on to the next point because we're just going to go circular. We're just going to go circular on this. I disagree. I have the objective. I already had the DMs. That's the truth. Let's move on to the next topic because you're trying to harp on this so that you don't have to talk about how you invalidated sexual assault survivors. So let's move forward.
I can talk about it all you want. You don't want to admit that you're unbiased. However, you literally just admitted that you don't want to get all sides of the story. You also said that you were charitable to me. However,
okay, Dennis.
You never mentioned the fact that I essentially raised $2,000.
You're right. I just showed it on my stream. I didn't mention that at all. I just showed it on my stream. You're right. Can we move on to the next point? let's move on to the next point.
You said, okay, next point.
Sure.
And then there was the whole, the EB family.
The EB family, when they leveraged a fake, like they tried to call a 17-year-old boy a rapist, a predator, and pedophile for trolling a girl inappropriately, of course, but they had a disproportionate response and tried to deplatform him because he made a mistake. So you want to talk about that, how that you avoided that whole part? I tried to have a conversation with you about like the potential racist undertones of what the family was doing, the fact that they were intentionally over maturing him because they intentionally misrepresented his age in order to overprescribe punishment. We had that conversation. Doesn't mean they are racist, but there were a lot of racist undertones because I actually watched both of their full videos, which is something that I noticed a lot of commentary content creators don't really do, right? Go. So that's what happened next, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened next. That was the video that you made your commentary about. I made my response. You made a response, and then we had the discussion. Well, so
you didn't just respond. You tried to slander me by calling like an incel.
There
you tried to assert that I think it was funny that I like to. Like,
and see what's so interesting. What's so interesting is the only reason that we have the responsibility is because we can respond. At the end of the day, our brains are automatic, but we are free, right? So to even think that you don't understand that perspective is actually showing that you have no self-awareness. No self-awareness at all whatsoever. And you went into it in the frame of not even showing what exactly was discussed. Yes, there were parts where Papa maybe, dug a little bit. He was a little, like, oh my gosh, like whatever. But it wasn't at the level for your response. Your response did not match the same energy as his video. And that is where you have missed the entire mark.
Bunch of other shit, and then you desperately apologized.
Desperately.
And let's see. How is calling you an incel slanderous?
Dennis, you were calling me an incel. You suggested that I think it's funny when like young girls get hurt. Like you were saying a lot of like fucked up shit.
How is calling you an incel
slanderous? So Dennis, I talked about this. What you do in your videos is you prime a lot of people do this in general, but you prime cool. So what you do is that you prime your audience.
Don't change the subject.
Oh my God, I'm not changing the subject. Okay, Dennis, let's see. Disingenuous framing. Is that better? I will just drop the word slanderous. I don't feel like going on to this like side talk conversation because I know you're just trying to deflect.
We should define what slander is.
Okay, Dennis. So anyway, you had a very.
Dude,
oh
let me
my
say
God.
something, please, for the love of God. Let's define what slander is because you've actually been titling some of your videos as slanderous.
Yeah.
So define what slander is to you, and maybe we'll find a definition where we can, I'll ask Alexa over here.
Okay, so slanderous, false and malicious, right? So your statements about me were objectively false, and we can only assume malicious based on your just the way that you operate because you're a very dishonest content creator. So yeah,
there's more to slander than just false.
That's just what came up when I Googled the dictionary definition.
So the action or crime of making a false spoken statement damaging to a person's reputation. So tell me, how is being called an incel damaging to your reputation?
So Dennis,
how has it damaged your reputation?
Basically, at this point, it didn't because I'm not a small content creator. I'm very articulate, know how to defend myself. But you could have rolled over anybody else, I was saying before. Yeah, I'm going to answer it.
The person's reputation.
Sure. So, like I was saying before, right? You engage, and a lot of people do this, but you engage in a very dishonest priming of your audience. Based on we're doing it again. I'm definitely like explaining my point about how this would be considered slanderous. If you want to think that's a bit over a prescription of a thing, sure, fine. But you have dishonest framing to try to prime your audience against me, right? So again, what I was trying to say is the way that you title your videos is in a way where it's like Papa Gut's an incel. Papa Gut doesn't care about this, that, and the other thing. Suggesting that I think it's funny when like little girls get hurt. This is like when you in the first situation. Again, I'm still going. So that you were trying to get your audience to think I was some kind of like woman-hating incel right off the bat that like people don't like and all this other stuff because you didn't want to like actually engage with what I was saying.
Exactly.
I was trying to have a nuanced discussion.
And the reason is because he can't engage. You don't even have the framework to have a real conversation about it at all.
About a topic, right? This is why you came into the live pretending to apologize because later on you just recently admitted it was all a joke just to call me an incel more like a weirdo. So like this is where we're starting because you already like you pretended to apologize, but you've already admitted that it was disingenuous, right?
Look, I get you want to get a lot off your chest, like, but this is gonna be, you gotta have some kind of conversation. Otherwise, it's just gonna be you yelling at me, like
that right there. His response right there shows that he didn't hear anything he said. The words went in his ear and completely out. Completely out. Because why would you even have a response like that? That just shows you didn't hear anything that he said. You only want to hear what you want to hear. And I get it. There's a lot of people that are like that. I mean, I used to be one of them, right? But at the end of the day, sir, you are literally digging your grave. I mean, to the point where it's like, I need to go get a shovel. Let me help you out. Like, I want to help you. Like, let's do it together. Do you want, what kind of grave do you want? Like, what, do we need it to be bigger? Like, I'm literally, like, that's what you're doing. And it's, oh, it's so sad. It's so sad, Dennis.
I kind of interrupted. Anyway, so just explain to me how calling someone an incel is a slanderous claim.
Sure. So like I was saying before, again, Dennis, if you think that the term slander is too loaded, I said about 4 times now,
don't redefine the conversation. Don't redefine the conversation. Just answer the question.
So Dennis, if
not even redefining the conversation. He's not even redefining the conversation. You're just not listening. You're literally purposely not listening. And then on top of that, at this exact moment that we're all having this conversation, where are the mediators? Where are the mediators? There's no mediator to come in and say, oh, wait, actually, I don't think you're hearing what Papa actually said. No mediators at all. It's insane that this was even anywhere close to respected on any other level. Like, if anybody is watching this and they're like, oh, seriously, like, how is he not understanding Dennis? Like, Dennis is the winner in this. Like, I don't get how people don't get that. Like, if you really are on that side, I really feel sorry for you. I have nothing else to say other than I feel sorry for you, because how can you even, it doesn't even need to be like a frame of like, I like Papa Gut more than, it doesn't even need to be like that, because anybody with a brain will be able to see this.
I will retract in this instance, the word slander, but I will still hold to the fact that you had a very dishonest framing to try to pin me out as somebody who just instantaneously hates women and like can't have sex, I guess, is some kind of a virtuous win, right?
All right, so here we go. All right,
okay, here we go.
Let's take a pause. So, 2 points. Sure. You admitted to not doing research.
I never admitted to that at all.
You admitted to not doing research or seeing that I had made all the donations. You admitted
what are you talking about?
That you didn't reach out to Sniper Wolf and that you don't like to get both sides of the story. And now you just admitted to over-sensationalizing something and then immediately taking it back. It's not slander. So those are 3 things.
Well, yeah, but all those are effectively lies. And everybody's watching, so they know that you have a very dishonest framing.
Please
but okay.
Elaborate. How was it dishonest having incel in my title?
So Dennis, it's more than just incel, right?
What's insane is that he can even have that opposition when we all saw the video. We all saw it. We saw him literally say, okay, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have called you an incel or whatever it may be. Because at the end of the day, what was the objective argument was Papa Gut is married. Papa Gut has a wife. So how would he be an incel if he was an incel? Which lets us know not only was it slander, you're literally just, again, taking shots at something that you know nothing about, but you are so on your high horse, you are so on your ego that you expect people to believe it. That's what it is. I don't understand. I'm literally... Let me shut up.
It's the fact that you called me like an incel. You framed me as some kind of a woman hater so that you can dismiss my point. You went on like a whole tirade about like being fat, ugly, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of different. Dennis, you apologized for this. I don't know why you're acting like this is coming out of left field.
Where did I say that?
In your videos, Dennis. This was your audience agreed that you had a very disingenuous framing.
Right? I didn't make 21 videos on you like you did on me. I made 1 video.
Well, yeah, because you like to use Twitter because you don't want to attach a YouTube video because for some reason you think that just because it's on Twitter doesn't mean it's around a response. It's bizarre.
Don't make excuses. Just own up to the fact.
It's not an excuse. That's a proper framing of the situation because you are framing it incorrectly.
Literally not even listening. It's and somebody commented this. They said that I don't remember what the comment was, but basically it reminded them of being in an abusive relationship where you're having this conversation with somebody where you want to fix the fight or whatever it may be, and they're just hitting you with everything that doesn't even matter, gaslighting every little point or it's actually freaking scary.
It's totally fine.
Sure.
It's fine. You can say that, but the truth is the truth. I made one.
I know the truth is the truth.
Make it seem like it was more.
You just deleted like 15 tweets about calling me a pedophile, and you're acting like my number of videos was like overbearing. I call you out on other things as well, but this was an elongated situation originally because you kept trying to weigh your audience against me until you couldn't get away with it, and you were forced to apologize on stream.
Look,
did that happen? Did you apologize to me on stream?
For anybody who's been here for
5 hours,
for anybody who's been here for the 5 hours, they've heard me say a whole bunch of stuff.
I don't care about what was said when I wasn't here.
Boom. So let's talk about how he keeps bringing this up. Okay, so for like the next hour, Dennis keeps bringing up how he's been talking to 50 plus people. He's been on this stream for 5 hours, yada, 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 yada. And it's just like, okay, no one cares. Why does no one care? Because you talking to a whole bunch of other people and reworking whatever they think for you to think that they're on your side has nothing to do with this one-on-one conversation. Nothing. But you want to keep bringing it up as if it's leverage. Oh, wait. But these 50 other people that have been here for 5 hours absolutely hear my side. No one's talking about that. No one cares about them. They're not involved. They're not involved. They're just there to make you feel like you are right. That's it.
Irrelevant.
Hey,
extremely.
All right. Fine. I think that what people were saying before you joined was relevant, but it's fine if you want to discount it. That's up to you.
Cool.
Anyway.
Ridiculous.
Going back to the conversation. Mm-hmm. You said it was dishonest, or I just want to get full clarity on that.
Yeah.
Because you walked back the slander stuff, so please tell me, describe how that was dishonest.
Dennis, I've described it. I know that like you're really trying to like delay the point to get to where we need to go, which was you I can call it insinuating heavily that I was a pedophile. I already made this point. You can just disagree, but I don't feel like going into a circular thing. You were being dishonest, and then you apologized for it in the live conversation. So I don't really have to do anything because within the first minute, you're like, I'm sorry. Then you made a video about how my career, I'm quitting YouTube, and it was another apology to me. Like, I don't really have to do this for this situation because you apologized for doing the wrong thing, which means that you admit, even if it was a dishonest apology, that you did these things, right? You admitted you did these things. You admitted you were wrong in that entire scenario. So what do I have to prove to the people who don't know what's going on? Because all you are doing is you're catering and pandering to people who are not going to sit through, and I understand why, a very elongated interaction. But the reality is there's a reason you apologize. And while it may not be because you're genuine and actually are apologetic, which you admitted recently, it's because your audience shit on you so hard and you lost so much credibility that you've been steamrolling out of control for the past 8 months or whatever since our interaction has happened.
And that is because he literally creates content from his ego. Period. There will be a part 3, but we're going to stop it right here. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you are brand new here. And I will see y'all in part 3 because by golly, do y'all see this? Do you guys really see this? Think about it. Think about this person having what? Is it over 600,000 subscribers at this point? Think about that. Think about that. Like, that's why the whole framework of putting these people on a pedestal because they're Twitch streamers, they're professionals, they're known, they have money, they have a blue check, they know famous people, whatever the hell it is, I don't give a damn. And I'm never gonna give a damn. Ever. And like, that's why it's so easy for me to be around famous people, because I don't care about their fame. I care about their heart, their spirit. Who are they? Where's their morals? What do they care about? What do they want to achieve before they die that has nothing to do with their ego? Those are the things I care about. I know a lot of people don't, but those are the things I care about. Child, pathetic. We will keep this pathetic train rolling. I will see y'all in part 3. And yeah, have a good day. Now let's see if this dried before y'all go. Like, let's see if I can actually. Oh my God, y'all see that? Look closer. Look at how it's like picking up. Like, how creepy is that? Oh. How creepy is that? Whoa, buddy boy. I got it on Amazon if you guys want it. Like, what the heck? Do you see that? Hold on. Look at that. That came out of my skin. Sheesh.
Put it out the coupe in the lot. 12 for a squat. Busting all the bells out the box. Hit the lick.